What's up guys, today we are playing Crusader Kings 3, a Game of Thrones edition, during the War of the Usurper, and we will be playing as Prince Rhaegar Targaryen of the Iron Throne attempting to defeat Lord Robert Baratheon. If you want to play this game, check this pop-up above. I made another video about how to download Crusader Kings 3, a Game of Thrones edition. And so right now we will be raising our armies and preparing to launch a siege on the Stormlands. This is while the Baratheons, Aarons, and Starks are loading up their forces on Gulltown, so we must first attempt to take over the Baratheon home so that Robert has nowhere to run to. And it looks like there's a Baratheon army stuck in the Stormland, surrounded by the Tyrells and our Targaryen forces, so we will attempt to attack those forces, as well as calling over the Tyrells in order to defeat and win our first battle. So it looks like we are almost there, closing in, and the battle has begun. Marching during the Battle of Gleefield, battling against Lord Commander Stannis Baratheon of the Stormlands, while we are commanded by Lord Randall Tarly, and this is a simple, easy win. We had two large numbers, and so now let's bring our forces back up to King's Landing to meet up with the Targaryen forces, and hopefully... So it looks like Targaryen forces are going over to Gulltown, so it looks like we're going to be pressuring the rebels soon enough. So let's continue to bring our forces up and keep on preparing for the future battle to become. We know in the original story, Rhaegar Targaryen died on the banks of the Trident against Robert Baratheon, but we are hoping to change that and hoping to have Rhaegar win and eventually sit on the Iron Throne. So let's call over our loyalist forces and attempt to march out against the rebels, prepare for a large battle. We have the numbers, we have a far greater advantage, but that didn't matter last time, so we don't know. Anything could happen. And it looks like we must regroup. And now we shall take all our forces to go and attack the rebels. Our numbers are very good, and I do believe that we can win this battle, but anything can happen on the battlefield. So let's march out to battle and go and attack the forces. So it looks like we're attacking the Baratheon forces, and let's see if we'll meet up against Robert Baratheon for single combat. We have been defeated, but the second battle begins, and we are facing off in single combat against Lord Robert Baratheon. So let's go attack heavy. We'll attack first, even though this is very, very risky, and then go again with the high attacks. We cannot play defensive as Robert's Warhammer is way too strong. So let's just go attack, attack, attack. And we have defeated Robert Baratheon in single combat. Robert is now dead. We slew him in the duel, and he is dead. So that is a great victory for us, but the war is not over, so let's join off against another battle. So it seems like Stannis Baratheon has taken over as head of the rebels. He has taken over for his brother Robert, and he is who we will be facing off against next. So let's bring our forces and let's continue to attack these rebel forces, because we cannot allow them to retreat. So let's face off against them again, marching on Lord Eddard Stark's host in the Riverlands, and hopefully we can earn another big victory. So marching off. Again, we have the numbers, but will that matter in the end? And the Battle of Lilyfield has started. We have extreme numbers advantage, 100,000 versus 50,000, where Stannis is commanding the enemy and I am commanding the loyalists. And again, another easy victory. Lots of good stuff is happening right now. We have winning. Now let's check out this battle. So, Our best soldiers in this battle was Sir Barristan Selmy of the Kingsguard, who killed 114 people. Any important deaths? Let's check out the dead. Just a couple minor lords, and we lost no major players. A Baratheon, again, a Kerwin of the north, but still minor lord, nobody important. Oh, and it looks like Sir Brynden the Blackfish Tully was killed in battle, slain by Barristan Selmy. That is a big hit, guys. He is a very, very good battle commander, and we are now significantly winning this war. 60%. Oh. To crown. So now I am king for some reason. I have been... My father, Aerys, died after drinking wildfire. My mother is still alive, but my father, Aerys Targaryen, died after drinking wildfire. So now I am King Rhaegar, no longer Prince, after my father did whatever he did. So let's push these forces and continue to attack the rebels. Let's not let them retreat, and let's attempt to win this battle. Again, keep on pushing and pushing against... There we go, another battle, and again, our forces are just way too strong. We are constantly overwhelming the defenders, and that is, again, it's not even fair. Oh, and at the last moment, Lord Tywin Lannister joins our army, waiting to the last moment to see who's gonna win. That's what the Lannisters do, I guess. And we have captured Sir Rodrik Cassel of Winterfell. Sir Rodrik Cassel has been captured, and we have held a couple other prisoners. Let's see the details of this battle. Any big deaths? Lord Rickard Karstark, died in the battle. The Lord of Carhold is now dead in the north. And that is crazy. Another big loss for the rebels. He was killed by Lord Jonah Weller. A minor lord made some huge impact in this war to come. And I hold a couple of other prisoners, nobody of importance as of now, but I earned my 100% war score, and there is no more need for this, so I can enforce my demands and end this war. So now I will decide the fate of the lords that rebelled against the Iron Throne. First, I have Lord Stannis Baratheon kneeling before me on the Iron Throne. And I will not execute Stannis. Instead, I will just send him to the wall and take away all his titles. Since the Baratheons rebelled against the Iron Throne, they shall have no more titles. And Robert's Warhammer shall make a nice addition to my collection. Now, Hoster Tully, I will send him to the wall as well and take all his titles. These rebels will never be able to keep their titles again. They rebelled against the Iron Throne. Lord Jon Arryn, again, send him to the wall and take all his titles. His titles shall be granted to somebody who aided in mine. But Ned Stark I won't banish. He joined the war because he thought that I had kidnapped his sister. So, Ned I will release. Now it's time to determine which of my allies shall I grant their new titles. So, I shall give the Stormlands to my best friend, Jon Connington. He was a good addition to the war and has always been a good friend to Rhaegar, so I shall grant him the Stormlands and Storm's End. Now I will be moving on to the Vale. During the war, only one of the Vale forces joined my side, and that is the Graftons of Gulltown. So for their loyalty to the crown, I shall grant them the titles of Lord of the Vale and the Eyrie. And then moving on to the Riverlands. This is a bit tougher, but none of the current lords look promising or loyal, so I shall grant those Riverlands to my friend, who lost an eye during the war. Sir Miles Mooten has always been a good friend, and I was the one who knighted him, and he sacrificed his eye in order to aid me, so I shall grant him the title of the Riverlands and River Run, as his loyalty shall be rewarded. And now that these lords have been complete, I can name my small council. For Hand of the King, I will not name Pycelle, but instead I shall name somebody who is more loyal to me. My good friend, let's search, see if I can find him. Not Tywin. Tywin has been a interesting character during these war. But I shall find my good friend Jon Connington. There he is. And I shall name him Hand of the King. Tywin can be my master of coin. For my master of laws, I shall name Ned Stark, and my admiral, master of ships, I shall name a Velaryon. Let's try and find a Velaryon. There we go. Lucerys Velaryon shall be my master of ships, and I have Varys as my master of whisperers. Now let's deal with our prisoners. Sir Roderick Cassel, I'm just going to release him. These prisoners, the war is over, there's no need to hold them anymore. So I will just release, and the rest of these prisoners were all arrested by my father, King Aerys, so I am unsure of their crimes and must release them all. I shall not. My father was crazy in his late stages, so I don't know if their crimes are true or not. So let's just release all the rest of these prisoners. And then, so there we go. The prisoners are dealt with, the land has been granted, and now I shall deal with Robert's Warhammer, which I must destroy. And now the Warhammer is destroyed, and the last remnant of Robert is gone. So now let's go check out and see. There I am, King Rhaegar Targaryen, sitting on the Iron Throne. And there we go, sitting on the Iron Throne with my Hand of the King Jon Connington, my wife Elia, my King's Guard beside me. And the throne, the skulls of the famous dragons of House Targaryen, Meraxes, Vhagar, Balerion, and Vermithrax. These skulls shall stay in the Red Keep, unlike what Robert did, and they shall be a reminder of the history and glory of House Targaryen. And now there is one thing left for me to do. One place, one person I must visit. Lyanna Stark. The Tower of Joy. I must ride south to find Lyanna, and hopefully find my child as well. So let's ride south to Dorne, to the Tower of Joy, and reconcile with Lyanna. And Lyanna awaits. She is here. And there I see Lyanna, but the child is dead. My child is dead. Lyanna survives, but my son is dead. So now I must make a decision. Lyanna, I shall name her as my wife, and disinherit all my children from Elia Martell. It is the only way that I will be able to live on. So let's choose Lyanna as my wife and divorce Elia. So now, I am married, and Viserys Targaryen, my brother, is my new heir, as both of my children by Elia have been disinherited. Let's bring my children back to my court in order to keep them safe, but they will not be heirs to the Iron Throne. Instead, my heir will be my child with Lyanna. And let's grow and crown myself, get coronated by the High Septon in order to officially be named King of the Seven Kingdoms. Okay, so my kids have arrived in my court, and the coronation is getting on its way. Now I must select a crown. I shall choose the crown of Maekar the Anvil. It is the best crown that we have, and it's the crown of a good king. So let's wait and prepare for the coronation, and we'll see how it goes. And it looks like Lyanna has become pregnant with my child, so my heir shall be born soon enough. That is great. I will finally have a child worthy of the Iron Throne. And now the coronation begins. Let the Father bear witness, and have the lords kneel before me. Very good. And now we shall have my feast to celebrate my coronation as King of the Seven Kingdoms with all the great lords of Westeros. And this is good. Earning their gratitude. And now my son and heir has been born. Lyanna has given birth, and I shall name my child after the greatest Targaryen I know. My great uncle, I think. Aemon. And let's finish this coronation and get my son situated. And now I have been coronated, and I am officially king. And now let's improve the Iron Throne. So let's found the Bank of the Iron Throne as a way to gain extra revenue and not need bravos. Oh, a secret has been exposed. Lyanna Stark has been revealed to be the Knight of the Laughing Tree. Well, we already knew that, but now the rest of the Lords of Westeros know as well. Now we must search the Seven Kingdoms for the dragon eggs. As a Targaryen, it is my duty to bring dragons back to Westeros. So let's find out if there are any dragon eggs in Westeros. So there are. King Yoro holds 3 dragon eggs. The King of Pentos holds 3, and I must find a way to either get him to grant me them or to steal them from him. So let's see, and then we have Lord Royce, who also holds 1. And it looks like Lord Royce is a member of the Seven Kingdoms. So he is a member of the Vale. So I can probably find a way for him to grant me those. But it'll be difficult as dragon eggs are very, very precious. So let's see if I can find a way to convince either of them. So it was the King of Pentos. Yes, King Yoro. So let's attempt to sway King Yoro into giving us the dragon eggs. This'll take almost a year to sway him. But let's see what we can do. So now King Yoro has been swayed, and he gave the dragon eggs to Rhaegar. There we go. Rhaegar now has the dragon eggs. And there is... Let's check. Yep, so we have 3 dragon eggs. And no more need to sway King Yoro. So let's abandon that scheme. And instead, let us attempt to hatch these eggs. Let's perform this hatching ceremony. And let's do it let's do a knowledge hatching at Dragonstone. And let's use, not animal sacrifice, blood sacrifice, using a grand catalyst, as this has to be a grand ceremony, and manage guests. Let's increase the amount of guests on here. So we have my family, Elia Martell Varys, the King's Guard, my wife Lyanna, my brother Viserys, my children, and my heir Aemon, other lords as well. So let's start this hatching ceremony and hatch the green dragon egg. Because in the show, the green and the books, the green dragon egg is Rhaegal, which was named after Rhaegar. So it only seems fitting that Rhaegar shall hatch the green egg. So now let's take our boat and head to Dragonstone, where we shall attend the hatching ceremony. And it seems Lyanna has become pregnant again, so I shall have another child soon enough. And so now I shall send for Archmaester Marwyn of the Citadel, as he knows the most dragon lord in all of Westeros, and he shall be the best to lead this ritual. And we need blood for this, so only my blood, the blood of old Valyria, the blood of the Targaryens, shall suffice in order to hatch this dragon. So yep, my blood is the only one that shall suffice, so I will use that. And in order to hatch it, we shall use the dragon mount of Dragonstone in order to hatch this dragon egg. So let's see. The ceremony is to commence, and let's hope we can hatch the dragon and nothing else goes wrong. And the dragon is hatched. The green dragon has now entered the Seven Kingdoms. Prince Rhaegar has brought dragons back. And huzzah! The might and power of House Targaryen has been restored. So now I must determine what I shall name this dragon. This dragon shall be named, we can determine it as Nerion, after Balerion the Black Dread, as he will be the first dragon of many to re-enter this world. And now I have returned to King's Landing after my travels, and now I shall reignite the Dragon Keepers of Westeros in order to keep the dragon safe. So I shall appoint him as my head Dragon Keeper, and now with my other dragon egg, I will grant it to my heir Prince Aemon, so that he may hatch a dragon soon as well. And let's also find a wife for Aemon, as my heir should not go unmarried, and let's marry him off to Sansa Stark. Yes, it looks like this Ned will accept it, so let's marry him off to Sansa in order to keep this Northern Alliance, the North Stark Targaryen Alliance, alive. So Aemon is betrothed to Sansa, and now I shall see which child my wife gives me next, as she is pregnant and soon to give birth. So as we wait for my wife to give birth, let's check out the other lords of Westeros to see how they are doing. So Lord Jon of the Stormlands has given birth to an heir, even though I thought he didn't like women. That is interesting. And Mace Tyrell has given birth to his children. Tywin Lannister, his heir is still Tyrion. And Cersei remarried against... Oh, looks like my daughter has now been born, and I shall name her after my mother, Rhaella. And I shall grant her a dragon egg to cradle with, in hopes that she, too, gives forth a dragon. And let's see, my mother is still okay at King's Landing. My brother is unmarried, so let's find him a suitable wife. Someone who will be able to match his level of sanity. So let's see, let's find him a good wife. Let's keep on looking. Oh, there we go. Lysa Tully and Viserys Targaryen. An interesting match. So we'll see how those two go. It'll be an interesting match to see if they'll be able to survive each other's company. So it looks like the bank is starting to pay off. We are making good money, and that'll be good for the crown of Westeros. So now let's go and find a potential husband for my daughter Rhaegar, and let's continue this Northern Alliance. Let's marry her off to Robb Stark. And there we go, let's strengthen this Northern bond. And it looks like Benjen Stark decided not to take the black and instead had a child with a Karstark. 2 kids. That is interesting. And let's see how the Karstarks are doing since their lord, Rhaegar, died during the battle, during the rebellion. So now Haryon is the new heir. Beyond the Wall, things are still looking interesting. Mance Rayder has not come yet and not united, so the Wall still has good defenses and can hold off for a while. Until then, we shall help the Wall in any way that we can, and help the other Lord to Westeros in order to keep our kingdom running smoothly. And it looks like another dragon has entered the world. My son Aemon hatched his dragon, a new white dragon that we shall name after his direwolf, Ghost. A good name for our child, a good name for his dragon. And now my wife has given birth to another child who I shall name after my crown, Maekar. And that is looking good. So now I have 3 children with Lyanna, and I shall marry Maekar off to Marjorie Tyrell to secure an alliance with the Reach. And now since we have hatched 2 eggs, the power of House Targaryen has gained 2 dragons. Before we had none, now we have Nerion and Ghost. 2 dragons that will restore the power of House Targaryen to the might it was before the dance. And so yeah, that is what would happen if Rhaegar Targaryen won the Battle of Robert's Rebellion and was named king. Make sure to like, follow, comment for more videos about Crusader Kings 3 or other Game of Thrones lore in general.